Hello, YouTube. I've never done one of these videos before. I posted a couple of weeks ago on Instagram my food setup for my yearly hike. I take a hike every year, usually in the fall sometime. And I got a couple of messages from people, private messages that said, hey, I want to learn more about your food setup. And someone even commented. So I just decided to go ahead and do it. You may find something in this that's interesting, that might help you. You may find nothing in this that'll help you. And you might go, I know all that already. Or I'm not eating that, that's gross. That's fine. What you eat on the trail is all subjective. Every single bit of this is subjective. I'm just telling you what I've sort of learned works for me or doesn't work for me, or what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do. Carry fresh fruit and avocados to try to stay keto or something like that. I'm not willing to do that. Some people are, and that's fine. I know someone who did. He carried avocado. He stayed keto for 200 miles on the AT or something like that. I think it was, I forget how many miles, but it was a lot. It was like 2 or 3 weeks on the trail. He stayed keto the entire time. Great. I don't want to do that. I want to get the food packed down into small a package as I can. So you'll see I don't use a lot of original packaging here, because most of the time that original packaging won't pack down. I want to pack my stuff down tight and get it into a bag as small as possible. I want things that are easy to cook. I found through experience, and I've also since read a couple of places, and I heard a podcast once, can't remember what podcast it was, but it was a nutritionist who was on some hiker podcast, talking about how your body basically goes into shock the first week to 2 weeks on the trail, depending on the person, of course. No matter what kind of shape you're in, you can be in stupendous shape. You're never in walking up and down mountains all day kind of shape until you've walked up and down mountains all day for a week or two. Then you're in that shape. Sure, you can have and I got good cardio. I ride my bike a lot. I got really good cardio. But next week when I'm in Washington hiking, I'm going to be huffing and puffing up and down mountains all day. I'm not going to be going, this is easy. I'm going to be sucking air. So this nutritionist basically said that your body goes into shock the first 7 to 14 days, I guess it is. And your hunger is suppressed. Now, I experienced that in my first few years hiking. I planned this trip. I've been waiting all year for my trip. Yay! The prep of the trip is half the fun to me. So I get all this stuff planned. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat that. I'm going to cook this for dinner. I'm going to cook that for breakfast. Blah, 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 blah. I wind up coming home with half my bag of food, because when I get out there, I'm just not that hungry. I'm so tired from basically working out hard all day, because that's basically what hiking is working out really hard, that my hunger is suppressed. I get to camp and I eat because I have to, not because I really want to. It's like a chore. It's like just one more chore you got to do before you go to bed. Now on the JMT last year, that was the longest hike I'd ever been on. We were on the trail for 19 days. We found at around somewhere between 8 and 10, we started getting really hungry every day. And every day I got to camp and I couldn't wait to cook my food because I was starving. We found that around that same time, we got our hiker legs. We found out we were not completely trashed. We didn't get to camp at the end of the day and go, throw our backpacks off and fall on the ground. We were like, pretty good. Let's throw up our tents. Let's cook some food, and felt pretty good. So all that sort of coincides. So because of that, I've got a pretty slim meal plan here for my 7-day hike, because I know in those 7 days, my appetite's going to be suppressed. I'm going to eat some breakfast, I'm going to eat a little bit of lunch, and I'm going to eat a dinner. And I have a few snacks to carry with me just to eat finger foods during the day. And that's it. Not a lot, just a few. That's what I've gotten to after all the times I've hiked. While I'm on that subject, let me give you a quick rundown of my hiking experience. I thru hiked the JMT last year. We started at Cottonwood Pass. So that's a 20 miles on the PCT before we connected to the GMT. Then we went all the way to Happy Isles. So that's about 230 miles, I think. It took us 19 days. That's the longest trail hike I've ever been on. And it was just as I thought it was the trip of a lifetime. It was the hike of a lifetime. I have hiked the lowest to highest route from Death Valley to Mount Whitney across Death Valley. Skipped a piece in the middle, which I immediately regretted. And to this day, every time I think about it, it's like a dagger in my heart. I will 100% go back and do that whole thing from beginning to end at some point, maybe next September, but that remains to be seen. Other than that, I've hiked on the Florida. I live in Florida, so I've hiked the Florida Trail here and there. I know I'm supposed to be a champion for the Florida Trail, but it's not that great. It's okay. There's parts that are really nice, and then there's other parts that are like, ugh. You know, there's a lot of road walking. There's a lot of gaps where it's road walking, so I haven't done that much of it. I'm supposed to feel bad about not championing the Florida Trail, but it's really hard to find a 50 to 100 mile section with no road walking. In fact, I don't know if a 50 to 100 mile section with no road walking exists on the Florida Trail. But anyway, I digress. I've section hiked the AT from Springer Mountain all the way to Virginia, so I've done Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. My next section hike will be starting in Damascus and going north. That's it. That's over probably the last 5 years, 6 years maybe. I got into hiking after my son thru hiked the AT and just sparked something in me, and I've just been ate up with it ever since. So that's my experience. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you now, like I said, is totally subjective. It's completely up to you what you do. But some people ask, so here's what I do. I have a hard time getting on the trail in the morning. Early bird gets the miles. I know this, yet I still don't want to get out of my tent because it's cold and I'm cozy. So I slimmed down my breakfast to as little as possible. So when I get up out of my tent and I start packing up, the first thing I do in the morning is I make a cup of coffee. This is an 8-ounce cup, and I put 2 of these in it. Starbucks. This is Pike Place. They also have Colombian and Vienna, something, I think it's French roast. But these are pretty good. These are, for instant coffee, they're pretty darn good. Not a big Starbucks fan, like when you go to the actual store, I don't really like it, but these are good. Maybe it's just because you're on the trail and you don't give a crap because coffee tastes great. So I'll have 2 cups of coffee in the morning while I'm packing my tent, okay? Also while I'm packing my tent, I have this. This is shelf-stable bacon. Sounds weird and gross, I know, and real bacon is definitely a lot better, but when you're on the trail, this shelf-stable bacon does just fine. It's very good when you're on the trail, like, oh my gosh, bacon. So I have not a shrink wrapper, what do you call these things? A vacuum sealer, a little small vacuum sealer I bought. So I get a box of this. I think it comes 8 or 10 strips in a box. I put 3 strips in one of these, vacuum seal it. So in the morning when I'm packing my tent, I just tear this open, pull it, and eat 3 strips of bacon, 2 cups of coffee. That's what I do while I'm packing my camp up. When the camp is all packed and I'm ready to go, I have a 20-ounce Gatorade bottle. I buy one on the way to the trail every time I hike, and I drink the Gatorade and carry the bottle with me. I do it because it's got a wide mouth and it's 20 ounces. Now, what I do with that is I put this in the 20-ounce bottle. This is 2 packets of Carnation Instant Breakfast. This is chocolate, obviously. It comes in vanilla. I always use the chocolate. The white stuff you see here is Nido, N-I-D-O. I don't have a can of it here to show you, but it's powdered milk. You can find it in most grocery stores. It's very common in Hispanic and Latin markets. I don't know why, because the stuff is from Sweden, which I never understood that, but it's very good powdered milk. That box kind that's really, really granulated, that stuff is horrible. It's like water. It's like white water. It's terrible. This stuff is actually milky, pretty good. So you take this, and I just tear off one little corner like that, and I pour it in my wide mouth 20-ounce Gatorade bottle, fill it with water, shake it up, and I drink that breakfast while I'm walking. So I wait until I'm all packed up. I've had my coffee and my bacon, make my shake, drink my shake while I walk. Once the shake is gone, I stick that in my back pocket or side of my pack, and first water stop, I just rinse it out, and now I've got an extra 20 ounces of water if I want it. Normally my 1-liter Smart Water bottle is plenty. Just refill that throughout the day, but the 20-ounce bottle is perfect for that. So that's what I do for breakfast. Again, I could eat breakfast, but if I stop to cook breakfast, I know me, I won't be on the trail till 9:30, 10 o'clock, which is just, the whole day. It sets tone for the whole day. The whole day sucks after that. So you want to get an early start if you can. If any of you have hiked before, I'm sure you've figured that out already. Now, during the day, for snacks, I have 3 things. I have a sweet tooth. I have a serious sweet tooth. So I crave sweets during the day. So I just do a little thing of jelly beans. Gummy bears work well, and I use gummy bears a lot. This year I just decided to go with jelly beans. So I put them in a little Ziploc baggie. This is a small snack size baggie. It's smaller than a sandwich baggie. But I like the baggies. Again, I use the baggie for the powdered milk and stuff. So you can take all the air out of them. You can fold them up real small. Everything can pack down nice. I want it all packed down because I use this Z-Packs food bag, and I have 7 days worth of food that has to fit in here. So the smaller it can pack, the better. I could put the whole bag of jelly beans in that bag. That's true. But the reason I do this is because each day I pull one of these and one of these. These are peanut M&Ms. I pull these out and I put them in the little pockets on the waist belt of my backpack, and they're just there for me to eat as I'm walking. I don't got to stop or nothing. If I put the whole big bag of jelly beans or M&Ms in my food bag, I have to stop, get some out, put them in my, it's just a pain. So I make, this year it's 7 days. I got 7 of each of these. All packed down nice and small. They're going to fit in the bag just fine. My third snack during the day, and I discovered these things a couple hike trips ago, and I really loved them last year on the JMT, are these Epic bars. You can get these off Amazon. A lot of grocery stores carry them now too. Here in Florida, Publix carries them. They've got a bunch of different flavors. I have found I like this one the best. This is bison, I think it's uncured. Yeah, bison, uncured bacon, and cranberry. So bison is obviously a very lean red meat, lots of protein, lots of good calories. The uncured bacon, it's bacon. So a little saltiness, and the cranberry's a little sweetness, a little salty sweet with the good protein in the bison meat. These are really good too. And the best thing about these that I found, the reason I like them the most is because unlike any jerky that I found, the turkey jerky, it doesn't matter, any kind of jerky is just so dry, and it's hot and you're hiking trying to eat jerky, you're chewing this dry meat. It's kind of like Cliff Bars. Cliff Bars are great, they're good for you, they're fantastic, good carbs. Can't eat a Cliff Bar to save my life. They're so dang dry. I ate one time in that hike in Death Valley, and I thought I was going to throw up. It was so dry. I literally almost gagged in my throat. It was so dry. Haven't been able to eat one since. These are moist. They're not like jerky. It's a meat stick. Tear this thing out, and it's just moist. It's chewable. You don't got to have a mouthful of water to swallow it like you do with jerky. So I just really like these. And I can't put my glasses on here. Calories are 130 calories per serving. The serving is, I guess serving is 1 bar. Doesn't say. Yeah, so 130 calories. So good snack. So I have a little healthy snack, sweet snacks. That's my snacks. Lunch, and I have done different variations of this over the years. I came across these last year before my JMT hike and took them with me, and they were fantastic. You may or may not have heard, depending on where you're from, of Bon Maman jelly. It's a French preserves. It's high end. In the grocery store, it's in a glass jar, and the lid looks like this red checkerboard thing. I forget the price, but like I said, it's a specialty high end preserve. It's kind of pricey, but it is so good. It's so much better than any other jelly or anything you've ever had. But I found these on Amazon, these little sticks. There's, I think, I can't remember, 100 or 200 in a box. A little pricey again, it's $40 for the box. But I would take these Bon Maman preserves. These are raspberry, they come in different flavors. 2 8-inch flour tortillas. Put those in a Ziploc baggie, just like so. Then I take one of these, 1.12 ounces of Skippy peanut butter, again, off of Amazon. Forget the price, but it's not too bad. So 1 peanut butter, 3 preserves. 1 ounce, 1.1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of jelly. The peanut butter to jelly ratio is very important. Very, very high on my list. If you have too much peanut butter, no good. So for me, I use 3. So that goes on 1 tortilla, and that's a PBJ. So I have 2 of those at lunch. In the first 7 days of a hike, that's hard to eat at lunchtime. I have to force the second one down because it's just I don't feel like eating. But the peanut butter, the sugar in the preserve that you need. Listen, you're burning glucose all day, burning whatever it is, 5, 8, 10,000 calories, however many it is you burn, you're burning glucose. You need to put some glucose back in. And some peanut butter's got the sugar and the protein as well. So PBJs are a great food and cheap, inexpensive food. I mean, they're more expensive with these dang things. You could get cheap little packages. The little square ones that you get in the store, in the restaurant, are much cheaper. Harder to pack. They don't pack down as good as this. That's one of the main problems with them. But they are much cheaper. But anyway, it's a cheap, calorie-dense meal that's good for you when you're exercising. So that's my lunch. So far I've got breakfast. This is my breakfast every day in one hand right here. This is my lunch every day in one hand right here. I usually buy snacks every day in one hand right here. Now, dinner, I mix it up for dinner. I don't do the exact same thing for dinner like I do for lunch and breakfast. I do a couple different things. Again, I have 7 nights on the trail this year, so I have about four different types of dinners, but they're all kind of the same. Anyone who's done a lot of hiking has heard of a ramen bomb. For those of you who don't know, that's when you make ramen noodles, and in that ramen you add instant mashed potatoes and mix that up. That's just mashed potatoes and ramen. It's a carbo bomb. And it sits in your stomach like a bomb too, like a big ball of lead. But it's a lot of carbs. So I get to do something that I didn't discover it, but I don't know, other people might call it this, but I call it a tuna bomb. So again, I have 2 8-inch tortillas, what are these? 2.6 ounce packages of tuna. This happens to be hot buffalo style, sweet and spicy Thai. So I like both those. I've got a lemon dill flavor. I've got one over here that's tomato herb or something or other. But I'll do that. I'll put one of these on a tortilla, and in my pot, which here's my pot, by the way. This is what I use. I use this, the Evernew titanium. It's a little bit, I had a jet boil. I like this better just because it's a little bigger. Makes it easier to cook out of. It's shallower, but it's bigger around. Then I use the Pocket Rocket. I need to get a BSR. They're just as good, a lot smaller and lighter. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I got this is the old version of the Pocket Rocket. I've had this for a while. I think they've updated it a couple times since then, but still works. So in there I make my mashed potatoes, and then on my 8-inch tortilla I put 1 packet of tuna and a couple of globs of mashed potatoes. Roll that sucker up and got yourself a ramen bomb. Now here's the thing, another thing I discovered last year on the JMT, and I got these off of Amazon as well. And I ran out of these real fast. To digress a little bit, we did 11 days on a JMT with no resupply. Started in Cottonwood Pass. We could have gone down to Onion Valley via Kearsarge Pass and resupplied. But at that point, that was I think it was our 5th or 6th day on the trail. You know, we were doing between 10 and 15 miles. We were still trying to get our trail legs. So to go down Kearsarge Pass to Onion Valley Campground and get your box, repack your stuff in your bag, ditch all the stuff, hike back up Kearsarge Pass to the JMT, that's 14 miles. So we would have we would have used an entire day to go resupply and not gained 1 foot on the trail. Now we said, what if we did that and then we did an extra 5? It'd have been crazy to consider doing 19 miles on our 5th day on the trail. Some of you people do it, I know. I'm 55 years old. I've done it and I can do it. I'm not doing it the 5th day, I can promise you that. I'm not doing it the 5th day. So we chose to carry 11 days of food all the way to VVR, the Vermilion Valley Resort. And we packed our bear canister. We had the BV 500, the big one. We packed that sucker full and it was heavy. Oh, it was heavy. But anyway, I had found these on Amazon and just kind of bought them on a flyer. Didn't know if I'd really want them or not. But I ran out of them real fast and couldn't wait to get the VVR and get more of them in my resupply bucket. But these little packs of Cholula hot sauce. I love Cholula anyway. But these little things, man, I'd put them on my tuna bomb. I put them on that bacon. Sounds crazy, but I put them on this bacon. I would cut the end, tear the end open. I'd pour one of these down inside and just kind of mix it up. Then that bacon was maple bacon with a little bit of heat to it. Oh, so good. So love these little things, and they're very light, very easy to pack. These little tiny little like, ketchup pack kind of things. So anyway, so there's my tuna bomb. That's one thing I do for dinner. Another thing I do for dinner is, and everyone's that's hiked before is familiar with these two. You got the Knorr pasta sides or rice sides. Boil my water. Add my water to my bag here. stick this bag inside I have my cozy. It's not out of my pack back here, but stick this in the cozy, fold the cozy up and set that aside while that cooks, in the cozy over there, hot soaks. Then I cook up another thing of mashed potatoes in my pot. And so when these are done cooking, I have mashed potatoes in my pot and I have this. I just pour this right in with the mashed potatoes. And I got another, basically a bomb, mashed potatoes and a Knorr pasta or a Knorr rice or, whatever. Another thing I do, same exact way, is I do this. This is, I believe the brand is Bear Creek Minestrone soup. And so you pour the water in here, put that in your cozy and let it hot soak and make your mashed potatoes. Then you take this minestrone soup, pour it in the mashed potatoes, and it's basically like shepherd's pie. Minus the cheese, of course. But it's very similar to shepherd's pie and it's delicious. So this one is the minestrone. This is the same brand, but it's a lentil soup, lentil beef based kind of soup. So I do those the same way. So you see the pattern there. Everything I eat basically goes with some mashed potatoes. So, and that's what I do for dinner. So that's my setup. Again, the thing I like about it is I've kind of dialed it down. I know exactly what I'm going to eat. Everything packs down nice and small. That's big because you get as much food as you can in a small space you can. I don't want to buy a bigger food bag. I don't want to carry that beer canister if I don't have to. We had to on the JMT, obviously, because it's the rules. But on this section of PCT, we're not going to do. We're going to carry just a regular bag, and I don't want to buy a bigger bag. So I can pack all this stuff down real small and all into a small space. Like 7 days worth of food into a small space, which works great for me. I know a couple things that some people might not like out of this, and I've heard this before. I don't like all these plastic bags. That's wasteful. I get it. It is wasteful. If there's something else I could do, I could probably, like I said, I could carry all my M&Ms in one bag. It is what it is. I'm going to pack everything individually and put it all together and each day have that. I carry a 1 gallon Ziploc bag for my garbage. Every one of these little baggies, when I'm done with it, goes in that Ziploc bag and that thing compresses down and I zip it shut. At the end of the trip, I got this Ziploc bag full of garbage and that one thing goes in the garbage by itself. It's hard to get off the trail with no garbage. If you get off the trail with no garbage, then I guarantee you've left crap out on the trail, which you should not be doing. So anyway, the other thing I've heard people say they didn't like about this whole setup was when I put my hot water in my Knorr or my soup or whatever, and I hot soak it in my cozy, I got hot water in this plastic baggie. And people are like, oh, but aren't the chemicals leaching from the plastic into your food? I mean, they might be, yes. I just look at it like this: 7 days is not going to kill me. I'm going to deal with it. I could carry the bag that this comes in, the Knorr bag. You could probably I think you could put the hot water in there as well. Because I believe those bags are like foil lined. But the problem with those bags is there's air in them and you can't pack them down real small. If you pack them down real small, you've made holes in them. Little small holes in the seam. And then when you try to go pour the water in, it's going to leak out. So that's one of the main problems with that. So I don't think 7 days of plastic leaching in my food is going to kill me. If it does, then I'm going to go out having fun. I got a t-shirt that says, everything will kill you. Make sure it's something fun. And it's got a picture of a guy with a backpack on. So that's what I did. So those are a couple things I've heard that people don't like. The garbage and the plastic leaching. Again, like I said in the beginning, this is all subjective. You do you. I do me and you do you. If you took one thing from this that helps you, then great. If you don't take anything from this and doesn't help you and you think I'm an idiot, it's a free country. That's really all I got. That's all I can think of. Hope this has been helpful to somebody at least. I'm going to throw up on my channel, and you'll see I only have one other video on my channel. It's from my JMT hike last year. I don't do a lot of these, so sorry if I rambled. Y'all have a great day, and this time, what's today? Today's Tuesday? This time on Friday, I'll be probably close to arriving into camp somewhere north of Goat Rocks Wilderness in Washington State, and hopefully the smoke will be all gone. Cross your fingers. See ya.